Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving headfirst into the dark, twisty, psychological world of Kanae Minato's incredible novel, Penance. Seriously, this is one of those stories that just sinks its claws into you and does not let go. So let's get right into it. Everything, and I mean everything, in this book comes back to these absolutely chilling words. You see, this isn't just a threat. It's a curse. It's a burden that a grieving mother places on four little girls, and it sets off a chain of events that is just devastating. Right, so you're probably wondering, what could possibly drive a mother to say something that cruel to a bunch of kids? Well, Penance kicks off with this single, horrific event in a quiet little town, the murder of a young girl named Emily Adachi. And get this, her four childhood best friends were right there. They were the last ones to see Emily with the stranger who took her. But when the police show up, they all tell the exact same story. They can't remember the man's face. Poof, just gone. And this so-called amnesia throws them, and especially Emily's mother, into this total nightmare of grief and suspicion. That day didn't just shatter one life, it shattered five. And the silence that followed, well, it had these awful, rippling consequences. It twisted the next 15 years of each of those four girls' lives, pushing them down some incredibly dark paths. So let's talk about the girls. First up is Sai. The trauma from that day gets so deep inside her that she develops this intense fear of becoming an adult, of being vulnerable. And this fear is so powerful, it feels like it actually stops her from growing up, both emotionally and physically, as she tries to just disappear into the big city of Tokyo. Then you've got the girl who grows up to be Ms. Shinohara. She is just consumed by the memory of her own cowardice, of not doing anything to help Emily. So she spends her life desperately trying to make up for it by being this courageous teacher. But honestly, it just leads her to do some really reckless, dangerous things. Next, there's Akiko. She completely latches onto this piece of advice her grandfather gave her to seek nothing above your station. In her mind, this means her friendship with Emily was a mistake, a transgression that somehow caused the whole tragedy, and that guilt is so crushing, she just withdraws from the world. And finally, we have Yuka. Her trauma comes out as this desperate need to be seen, to have some control. She's always felt like a side character in her own story, and this pushes her into this really tangled, messy world of secrets and self-destruction, all just to feel like she matters for once. So you've got these four girls, each spiraling in their own unique, tragic way. But what's the one thing that connects all of them? What's the engine driving all this pain? Well, it all comes back to one person, the victim's mother, Asako. You have to understand, Asako feels completely alone after Emily's murder. She feels like the whole town, even the other parents, have just abandoned her. And with no answers from the police, her grief just festers. It transforms into this burning obsession that's somewhere between a cry for justice and a raw need for revenge. And that's when she does it. She confronts the four little girls and lays down this curse. This penance hangs over their heads for the next 15 years, and it infects everything. It becomes the twisted lens through which they see themselves and the world. So, what is this book really about? I mean, sure, there's a mystery, but this is so much more than a simple whodunit. It's this incredibly profound and honestly unsettling look into the messiest parts of being human: guilt, memory, and trauma. And this is a really cool part. The author, Kanae Minato, is known as the Queen of Iyamisu. The term basically translates to, ew, mystery, or a feel-bad mystery. And trust me, it is the perfect description for the feeling this book leaves you with. It's not about the thrill, it's about the darkness inside us. And that really gets to the heart of what this book explores. We're talking about the long shadow that trauma casts over a whole life. It digs into the crushing weight of guilt, societal pressure, and, most fascinatingly, it makes you question if memory is even reliable at all. Which brings us back to that huge question, right? How on earth could four different girls forget a killer's face at the exact same moment? Well, the book drops this absolute bombshell through one of the characters, posing a chilling possibility. Maybe they didn't forget. Maybe they chose not to remember. Okay, so after all of that, should you actually read Penance? Let's break down who this book is really for, and maybe who it's not for. So here's the thing. This book's greatest strengths are also what might make you hesitate. It is an absolute masterpiece of slow burn tension with some of the most haunting character studies you will ever read. But if you're looking for a fast-paced thriller with good guys, bad guys, and a happy ending, this ain't it. This book is bleak, it's methodical, and it is absolutely designed to make you feel uneasy. At the end of the day, Penance doesn't give you any easy answers. It's not going to wrap things up in a neat little bow. Instead, it leaves you chewing on this one lingering, really heavy question. What does it actually mean to pay for our mistakes? And is forgiveness from others or even from ourselves ever truly possible? Now, I am so curious to hear what you think. If you've already read Penance, what was your take? And if this explainer has got you intrigued, are you planning on picking it up? Drop a comment below and let's get a conversation going.